What is going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2Times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I get into the video, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're new to the fam, hit that bell. Tonight we taking it to Wilmington, Delaware. Let's get right into it. Over the years, violence and crime all over has escalated. Every town or city has gangs and squads with shooters, stick-up boys, and trappers. Truth be told, the world is a ghetto. The only thing that changes is the weather and the slang people use. Today we will be talking about Wilmington, Delaware. Delaware, a state that's not far from my home city, Baltimore, Maryland. The thing is, with small states and cities with a lot of violence, it makes it more dangerous because enemies are so close. Wilmington gangs, sources allege at one point, they weren't even beefing over money or drug turf, but beefing on social media, disrespecting each other's dead homies. Two gangs were going back and forth at war in the city. The gangs were called STK, or Shoot to Kill, and they ops were OMB, short for Only My Brothers. Some say over the course of the beef, the two squads will pull up on each other, letting off shots and letting the city know what they did on social media. Let's take it to the streets of Wilmington and talk about a few alleged situations between STK and OMB. On January 23rd, 2015, around 6:40 p.m. in the 200 block of North Broome Street, a young man was spotted. He was 16 years old and allegedly an ally of STK. He was unfortunately hit up on his front porch of his home in the Hilltop neighborhood and did not survive. Also, another person, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, were hit as well, but they survived. This would start a war, a back and forth retaliation. 2 days later, outside of the same house on North Broome Street, friends and family were mourning the death of the 16-year-old that was hit when more shots rang out. 3 more people were hit, ages 21, 18, and 16. On March 5th, OMB would try to get revenge when a member spotted an STK member, let off shots but missed. The 18-year-old and alleged shooter was just 15. March 17th, a 17-year-old member of OMB catches a 17-year-old member of STK and shoots, hitting the teen in the ankle. The shoots were going back and forth. On one situation, they shot the city of Wilmington when a 15-year-old young man named Brandon Wingo, an alleged ally of Only My Brothers, was allegedly shot and killed by 3 members of STK. A 20-year-old, 19-year-old, and 18-year-old spotted the young man before firing shots in his direction. Brandon was very popular, and when STK would disrespect his name, saying they were smoking on him, the retaliation would come from OMB. After the hit on Brandon, the police in the city were hot on both gangs, pulling over 4 members of OMB, ages 16 to 18, on their way to the STK member's house the same night Brandon was hit up to allegedly do a drill. The members were instead arrested with blickies in the car. OMB, hurt over Brandon, would go on Facebook Live, allegedly flashing poles and dissing the ops and they fallen brothers. Both groups of young men were dissing and smoking on each other's members, which turned the small city of Wilmington into a back and forth war zone. Police would eventually stalk members' social media pages, get information using live videos and people in the streets to indict members of both gangs, STK and OMB. Sources allege the war messed up and even more our already divided city. West of I-95 is known as the Hill, and east of the interstate is known as Down Bottom, where some say most businesses and downtown is at, which is mostly safe, but not at the time of the beef. Unfortunately, other innocent teens guilty by association was collateral damage as well. Unfortunately, nowadays, when teens got access to blickies with 30 rounds and everybody want to have ops and smoke on packs, communities get divided and senseless shootings occur. When we are in a world when a 15-year-old can be considered a killer or threat, what can we do? Rest in peace to the people on both sides. I send my prayers and condolences to the families. So we gotta remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, salute to Wilmington, Delaware, the whole Delaware. I ain't want to leave y'all out. Everybody was getting on me, saying, you know, we right close together, we right next to Baltimore. But man, to tell you the truth, man, when I read this story, it's crazy. Like, these was young boys, like 15, 16. You feel me? Rest in peace to young man Brandon. Shorty was 15 years old. They say he liked dirt bikes, regular little teenager, hooping, playing basketball. He was real popular amongst his peers. You know, they saying he was affiliated with the gang, but I mean, affiliation, you feel me? You could grow up with these dudes. That don't mean you in the organization. But that's how it be when you hang with somebody. People see you with them, they think of your face. So when they see you, they just thinking about scoring. They just thinking about hitting somebody from the other side. They was already hurt, you feel me, STK, because they lost their brother. So they trying to say allegedly OMB started the war when they did the hit in front of the porch on the 16-year-old. And then they saying that STK just came back and started retaliating. But man, it's senseless at the end of the day. Back and forth, it's really genocide. You see what I'm saying? And I know it's hard once bloodshed, because once bloodshed, dudes ain't saying nothing but red. They trying to get payback. They trying to get their lick back. You know what I mean? But at some point, we just gotta understand, an eye for an eye, everybody lose their sight. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna never end. And when you in them small cities like that, when everybody close, and you definitely gonna run into your so-called ops, you ain't safe. You can't do nothing. You feel me? You try to go work, you try to go to the mall, you try to go anywhere, you gonna get spotted. And if you out there, they coming. You know what I mean? That's just how the streets work, man. So I advise all you young dudes that's thinking about getting into these gangs and all that, just think about what you gonna have to go through. You know what I mean? If you wanna live a regular life, you wanna hoop, you wanna ride dirt bikes, all that stop when you get in the streets. You know what I mean? You gotta move safe. These dudes 15, 16, they probably ain't even got cars. So you might be on the bus stop, you might be anywhere and get spotted. You know what I mean? You gambling with your life. The chances of you surviving is almost zero, because you too exposed. You ain't even old enough to move properly in the environment that you choosing to be a part of, or go to war. You know what I mean? You gotta know what you're doing. But at the end of the day, man, I don't condone none of that, man. Like I said, rest in peace to the young men that lost their life. Salute to Wilmington, Delaware, the whole Delaware. This is another episode of Hood Tales. Be sure to like, comment, share. Definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm out.